the whole panel situation
I haven't been
at that event
for a few months, but I hope
was
you are having
omega
a good day
scuffed.
less than 3.
Dude, they up AMC's pronouns.
Hi, Dadza. Hope you enjoyed
And crumbs.
I am curious, now after 2 conventions, have you noticed a difference between American
Why did we
and
give
European
them? Why did
fans?
they give them?
11 months, Pop.
What?
Phil,
Why did they
Phil,
ask?
it's been
If they were just
17
gonna
months and no
blatantly
one asked
call
for more.
every woman on the
It's my
panel she slash
birthday,
her.
Please. Anyways, hope you and Kristen had fun on the scuffed chaotic.
Ah,
thing
yes,
that was
woman
TwitchCon.
equal this.
Glad you guys are back.
So,
You
like,
guys had been well.
I don't think there was a lot of communication.
Mom, Dad are back pockets.
Right? Our partner managers were pissed. I'm telling you that, chat. The people that look after us and like make
Joined
sure
the
things go
stream and
smoothly
instantly
were pissed
That's
because
what I
clearly
feel myself
there was a
for.
massive miscommunication. But yeah, that panel. Oh my god, dude.
16
Well, I'm not
months
even
left
gonna get into the questions. You're gonna love this. I don't know if anybody's talked about this yet, but it's so funny. It's so funny and so cool at the same time. So we get back to the Purple Lounge and we see Dream and everyone,
Weber Mumsa and Dadza.
and we're like, yo, so what's going on with the panel? And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna try and get you guys
Hello,
on. I
Phil.
was like,
is your refrigerator
what?
running?
Like, yeah, I'm literally just gonna say he pulls a diva
Been
moment.
bored without you.
He pulls like an
PH1,
absolute
love
diva
PH1,
Giga Chad
love
moment,
PH1,
right?
love.
It's equally funny because it's like actual diva.
Baby, whoa.
Like, if I can't have this, I'm not doing it. But then also Giga Chad because he's genuinely just like, F you guys, I want to be on this panel with my friends. It's like, so he basically says to the Twitch staff, hey, you know all these guys?
PH1,
They come with me on the stage and they're like, oh, we didn't agree to, this isn't part of the agreement. He's like, I don't care, I'm not going on. And I was just looking at him like, oh my god.
You really went to America on
Oh my god.
birthday. Sounds like
Are
it
we
was
causing drama? Are we causing an up people?
Welcome back, Dad,
Twitch gonna f***ing hear us?
spot.
So we just
Hiya,
walk
Phil.
with them. Like, so
Please
it's like
tell me you are
the
voting
people
the
that are
right
meant to
dog.
be on the panel, right? And then just a bunch of extra people were just
Welcome
walking
back, Dadza.
with
Hope
our
you're
partner
doing
managers
well.
as well, like
Thank
with the
you
Twitch
for
staff.
content, loving
We're just
you.
walking along in the back rooms, mind you, and the whole time, Dream is
1 year,
still
Jackal Pop.
arguing
Finally.
with the Twitch
Thanks for
staff.
always doing the thing and playing the block game for our entertainment.
And I you not, these words came out of his
Can you
mouth.
show your
They
ring?
were like, "Hey, you can't go on with this many people. You can't do it." And he was like,
18 months.
"Okay, then I just won't go on." It's and he's like full Karen. It's like either I go on with my friends
Balls.
or I don't go on at all. And I'm like, "Holy oh my god.
9 months.
Oh
You know
god.
what that means.
This
Cold
is
heart.
crazy. What are you
heard me
doing?"
right. Cold heart. A heart made out of coal.
This is nuts.
Why?
And then he started trying to
This
quote fire codes. Oh my god, chat. It got
cold
so funny.
heart.
It got so funny because then they started to quote fire codes. They were like, we can't let people on. We can't let more than this many people because it breaks the fire code for the convention room. And then Dream just goes, show me the code. No, go on, show me the code. And they're just like, he's like, either I go on with my friends or I don't go on at all. Like, oh my god.
Were dancing in the
Oh,
wings
he
during
has to
the
see the
support acts,
code!
and they could see me
Oh!
waving from the side of the stage right on the end. They
And they
looked me dead
can't
in the
show me
eye
because they're
and
just
shook
bull.
his
They're just saying things to make him quiet, and he's just not taking.
Hi
it.
Philza, here's my monthly update.
And he
I got
like
a
points to
boyfriend
everyone.
this
He's like,
month,
I want
a
everyone
very
on the
happy
panel.
smile.
Everyone's on the panel. And he,
Five
like he
months.
literally points to us and calls our names. He's like, all these people need to be on the panel. Oh, I'm not going on. And then they crack. The person in charge just goes, all right, we can make a compromise.
8
Because he wasn't
months
going to go on. He was
One
not
month
going to go on.
until Twitch balls.
Chat, he was so serious. He was just going to dip.
7
He
months.
was going to dip.
Have a nice day, Dadza.
So they just go, oh, okay, so we can probably compromise. And then she
Well
goes off
done,
and talks
20
to some
months
people,
already.
then comes back.
Sounds
And they're like,
like
okay, so what we're
Tom
going to do
was
for the
crazy
first
glad you
half
had
of
a
the
good
panel, we're going to
time.
have this group. And for the second half, we're going to have this group. Can you
11
remind us
months,
who's going to be
we're
on?
there.
And he just goes down the list. He's like, okay, for the first
Hope
part,
you
it's
had
these
a
people.
great
And then
time
for the
with your
second half, it's
friends
these
less
people.
than 3.
So that's why, if
The
you were
milk
watching the
better have been
panel,
worth it.
out of seemingly nowhere, people got up and left, and then other people, including myself, wandered onto the stage. It is also why Dream was just on the end of the panel, because he was meant to sit where Karl was sitting. he got told
I had a cool
to sit in the
hardcore
middle.
world. I haven't
Karl yoinks the seat, and then that's why Dream, when he comes out, he like
Go me.
pretends to steal Sapnap's seat because he's like, dude, I was meant to sit in the middle. And that's why he was just on the edge, like he didn't belong. It was so funny. It was
3
so
months.
funny.
How
Dude,
are
I
you?
saw the pictures. Oh my god, he's not even like, he's like not even behind the table or like in line with the background graphics. It's hilarious. It looks like he's just like,
tell them they stole my gender.
he's just attached to the edge.
Time to shake.
I wanna do 4 hours of meet and greets now.
Piss heart, my
If
beloved
that is 1 meet and greet session, or if that is 2 meet and greet sessions, I don't care. I want to do more because so many of you didn't get to see me during the meet and greet.
I've been waiting for so
Even
long.
when you were waiting in
New
line,
life. Next
it got
step, my
cut
driver's
short.
license. There have been crows at the bottom
and I
of my
don't want to
house for
rush
1 week.
through everyone
They're
because
scaring
so
my
many of
neighbors.
you,
It's funny.
right?
Love you, Dad and
So
Mum.
many of you
Bye.
came up to me and
Miss
Kristen
you.
and just poured your heart out, like we
Hey,
helped
Phil,
you
I
get through some
always watch
difficult.
football
You went through a
games. I'm in
terrible
the band.
time.
Thanks for the
Somebody
entertainment.
got me to sign their restraining order.
Welcome
Right?
back from your
People have been in
adventure.
hospital and
I
they
hope
watched
you
our
have
streams
fun
to cheer
smile.
them up. They've been, a lot of people went through some crazy, right? And like, understandably, wanted a hug and to be heard at least for a minute or two,
Dad's to say
right?
you are winning
So I'm not
ongoing
gonna rush
I miss
them
you too.
and be like,
Next
hey,
event we managed to
we
both
gotta
go
keep
to, I will
going.
meet you
Sorry
XD.
about that happened to you.
4
Anyway,
months
here's a
already.
photo
Wow.
on
I
your
want to
way.
say
No,
thank you.
I want
I
to
am
talk
doing better
to them.
than
I want to
ever
give them the
alive.
time of
Glad you were
day,
safe at
right?
TwitchCon.
And 2 hours was still not enough. So anyway, I think I'm going to be a
Haven't
little
been
bit
here for a
more
while after having to get my weight
what's
in
the word?
check. Got down from 214
Critical
down to 180.
with which conventions I go to now.
Hope you're doing well, Dad.
Because it felt like TwitchCon San Diego was just
I'm almost
put
there.
together
I
like
can
a
see
week
the
before it
This journey
happened.
has been wild.
And I don't want you guys to have a experience. So I'm it was kind of like, it was sort of like a last minute decision for me and Kristen to go anyway. We didn't know we were going until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the convention actually happened. We had barely any communication with Twitch.
9 months.
My partner manager was like trying his best to communicate with them. There was just hearing nothing back. And eventually got something sorted for us. But they couldn't pay for our flight, which VidCon did. And TwitchCon Amsterdam did. So I'm gonna be a bit more critical, I think,
So close to getting piss apple.
because this one was definitely like kind of just
But I do hope you
put
and
together.
Kristen enjoyed
It
meeting
felt
and
like it was
hanging
put
out
together
with
within
everyone there.
a couple of weeks.
Thank you for the background noises
And it wasn't a
always.
great
Also, Kristen
experience
and
for a lot of
Chuck
people
love
that went. You know, because if you're paying money, the Dashcon ball
Look it
pit
up,
didn't
it's
end up in
crazy.
someone breaking their back, though. Yeah, exactly. You get a bit extreme there. You can't make that comparison.
23.
The Dashcon
Keep
ball pit,
being
dude.
awesome, Gabza. Any ideas for new?
I don't know. If they
really
contact
hope
me,
you
sure.
are. It will be
If they
my
contact
first
me and they're like, yeah,
convention
we'll pay for
deal.
your flight and everything, sure. But I think I'm going to be a bit more critical and a
was
bit
so
more
random.
like, a bit more stern with it, with conventions now. If they offer to pay for stuff
Welcome back,
and it looks like they're, you know, planning things and it looks like it's going to be a good experience for you guys, then I'll go.
Hey, Dad's Ginger here.
But I'm definitely going
Glad
to take a
hear
step
you
back
had a great time.
and be a lot more
5
critical
months, Pop.
with what I go to now because I don't want you guys to have a experience. And this was not a great experience for a lot of people. The only upside was that we got to meet so many of you
Can
at my
you
meet and
throw me
greet,
into them
and
for a
then
bit?
also
Oh, God,
on the other days that we were there wandering around. That was the only real upside. Yes, of course, I got to see my friends. Of course, I got to hang out with people that I haven't hung out with. But at the end of the day, a convention has to be for you guys, for the attendees, right? It felt like it was more like I had a good time. I was taken care of, right?
Talk about the mob in the hall.
Oh, I know, Jesus
10,000
Christ.
People trying to line up, and staff saying, there is no line. The line doesn't start until 1 p.m.
Dude, the lines were
17
scuffed.
months of prime. Wow, let's
Security and people in charge with the lines had no communication and didn't know what the they were doing. Poorly managed all around. The convention panel that we had was for 400 people. Literally
4 months. Pop.
not even close to the theater that we had in Amsterdam that didn't even feature Dream, Sapnap, or George.
Bagel.
Hello? It should have
11
been
months
in the
to have a
main
good
hall.
stream.
Either they were grossly out of touch and completely stupid, or it was intentional because they didn't want it to become DreamCon. I don't know. I'm going conspiracy mode. Part of me is convinced that they knew the influence and they knew the demands and were just like, nah, take you down a peg. But the other part, the only other explanation is that they were just idiots, because there was TwitchCon Amsterdam. They literally had the perfect example of what to do and what to expect. Dude, there was people that couldn't get into the Dream SMP panel at Amsterdam. That giant theater, there was people waiting outside that couldn't get in. You're gonna tell me that the American audience, the main audience of the Dream SMP isn't as big as Europe?
Will you turn it into a YouTube video?
Oh.
PH1L heart.
Oh, you have to be monumentally stupid to not even think of that. Actually stupid. Or you did it on purpose because you're like, oh, we don't want this convention to turn into DreamCon. We want it to be TwitchCon still. Sit in a conference room with 400 people. And not only that, but like, it was just, the questions were just, no offense to the people that wanted to ask the questions, but they treated it like a meet and greet. And like, some people on the panel didn't get like any questions. And I just felt bad. Like, I don't give a shit, but some people like Tina got like overlooked a lot, I think, which was shit. I tried to like help Tina like speak up and stuff about like questions that were asked, because I feel like people were just glossing over multiple people on the panel. I was like, man. And like, even Jack told me, he was like, yeah, the vibe was weird. Like, Jack did like a joke and the room went silent.
Later, what design should
I was like,
on top of it?
Oh man, that would have banged. That would have banged anywhere else. What the f happening?
Despite it being October in Canada.
The whole vibe of that panel was weird. It was just bizarre. And the questions I don't think were that good. And some of the people there were just wrong ones. I don't know. Here's the thing though. I'm pretty certain, you know, I put on the tinfoil hat and I was like, oh, they probably just wanted to take us down a peg because they saw Amsterdam. If we're playing into that they were just stupid and didn't realize, if we go with that, I can't forgive them for that. Man. Come on, they did no research. If that's the case, they did absolutely no research on any of us, and that is just so. Because everyone that waited to get into the panel couldn't get in. All right, there was like 400 people that got in, thousands others that couldn't. They had to shut down an entire wing of the San Diego Convention Center because of the queues being so long to try and get into that panel. It was so and so unfair for so many of you. They have to do some crazy shit to make up for that, because that was just... that was dumb. It shouldn't have happened, and they should have seen that coming from a mile off, but it didn't. And part of the reason, apart from that, a part of the reason I think is, so at TwitchCon Amsterdam and TwitchCon San Diego apparently were handled by completely separate teams, and a big factor for why Amsterdam banged so hard was that Tommy's team had direct input into the Dream SMP panel, and the planning went on for months before the actual convention. So months in advance. There was planning, there was back and forth, there was talks, there was meetings. Tommy's team said what they wanted, said what they expected. Constant back and forth between the teams. Constant communication. And that, I feel like that's part of the reason why the Amsterdam one did so much better, because of the communication. I don't think there was all communicated for San Diego, and they just guessed. They were like, yeah, 400 is enough. If they did communicate with Dream, it was probably minimal, because he would have asked for a bigger room. And it sucks, because like, that's like the first convention that like the whole Dream Team plus Quacking Karl have been together. Obviously everyone else was there too, but such a huge thing deserved more, way more. At least the level of Amsterdam, if not way more, but at least the theater, at least the giant theater thing that they had the main introduction for the event in. That would have been fine. Yeah, they got over, man. They got over real bad. Not fair. Nah, to be fair, it was a good time for the creators, but a time for the fans, and that should not happen. The Amsterdam was so much better, and it's sad. It's honestly sad. They could have made the best convention but instead it just flopped. Oh, one thing that they did really well, and this is a stretch. One thing they did really well, and I'm pretty certain the only reason they did it well was because our partner managers made such a fuss, was that the meet and greets were staggered across all of the different creators from the Minecraft scene. So, like, they didn't have Carl, Quackity, George, me, Nikki, Tommy, Tubbo. They didn't have all of us just at the same time. They noticed the problem with Amsterdam, which is why it makes no sense, because it means if they noticed the problem with Amsterdam, then they should have noticed more things. And, oh, God. The fact that they took what happened at Amsterdam and learned from that and not everything else is bonkers. F***ing bonkers, dude. So many things could have been done better. I hope they learn, but part of me thinks they won't. Because the attitude, like, we gave them so much information and we had so many meetings, and they realize where they fell short, but they fell short so much. Like, how can they f*** up that hard? I don't know. There's so much more that went wrong. There was people getting pushed out of their chairs. There was people getting knocked over out of their wheelchairs. There was all sorts of up shit to do with the lines getting scuffed. People were running to get into lines. People with disabilities couldn't run, so they just got put to the back, and communicating that there was a accessibility line specifically for them was not made, so people with accessibility problems could not, like, didn't know there was a line for them. So it was just, bah. If I could boil it down to one thing, communication was
Guys, there is now a hot Cheeto
across management and security, and it led to so many people having a shit time. And I just hope that meeting some of us randomly on the floor, even outside of the convention, was enough to make the weekend better. I'm pretty much done with the story time. I've shit on Twitch a bunch. They're probably not going to have me back, but honestly, if the convention, if the Paris convention is not as good as the Amsterdam one or better,
9 months
I will be very disappointed. And I'm going to be hopefully in talks with some people about it. Obviously everyone that you know, literally all of the creators that you know from our community, from the Minecraft community, and also outside of the Minecraft community, have all been voicing their concerns to Twitch. We are all pissed at how multiple things were handled. So do not worry, we're doing everything we can, but that's all. It's at the end of the day, if they don't listen to us, what can we do? If the next convention that Twitch hold, if they don't communicate to us fully, I'm not speaking for everyone, I'm speaking from me. If I don't get communication about stuff that's happening and reassurance that everything's going to be fine and good for people attending, I'm just not going to go, because I don't want the same thing to happen again. It sucks. Also, someone mentioned about the hotel stuff. Yeah, that was weird. Let's just go on the record and say that, yes, people waiting in the hotel lobby for content creators to show up because they knew they were there, that's weird. I don't care if you think I'm being mean. I don't care if you think I'm being unreasonable. I understand that some of you might not have been able to see who you wanted at the convention, and that sucks. But to hang out in the lobby specifically to just try and catch a glimpse at someone, I feel like that's pushing it a bit. Fair enough if you just see us walking around and you just so happen to catch us. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Well, of course we'll stop and talk to you and stuff. But hanging around for multiple hours and using the excuse that, oh, I was just bored. I was just bored. I was staying in that hotel, so I was just bored. So I was just hanging out in the lobby. No, please. Right? We're people as well. At least give us some space. Right? I have a little moment of, like, noticing this firsthand. It wasn't people that were interested in me. It was more so people interested in the dream team that I saw, and it was really creepy. It was not good. I was leaving the Purple Lounge with Dream, George, Karl, Quackity, and Sapnap, and security were with us. We came out of the Purple Lounge into the lobby. A crowd of people swarmed, and security told Dream and everyone to just turn around and walk the other way, and they just literally did a U-turn. And how I know they were only after them? Your boy just walked past. I just kept walking. Dude. I just kept walking. I was just like, welp, I'll see you guys later, I guess. Just sat down next to Scott, Kristen, and everyone. And then I also spotted some people waiting at the back entrance to the hotel to try and catch them there as well. Hell, give them space.
Phil,
Jesus Christ, stop being weird. It's honestly, it's down to them to call it out, really, because it was people that were for them, looking for them. I never personally experienced anyone being that level of creepy, fortunately. The worst part is I heard that the worst part that really ticked me off was that when Dream and everyone were in the hotel like later, another day, these people that were stalking them pushed it even further and started hanging around the elevators and were doing this. Like, a group of people were just filming them as they went into the elevators. Fuck off, man. Dude, I don't know, man. It opened my eyes a little bit. I was like, man, they have some really weird people in their community, and it's only a small number, but hell, dude, trying to put up with that at any of the future convention, I don't know, they really need to, like, again, it's their communities, it's their decision whether or not to call it out. I'm calling it out because I saw it firsthand and it was really creepy, but ultimately it's their choice to, like, say stop doing this. I just think it was up. I just think it was not great.